Afternoon, class 11 student. Welcome back. Today we'll start with operator. Okay. Previous day we'll already complete what is variable. Now today our topic will be operator. Operator, look at here. We can found 4 plus 5 equals to 9. Here two operator we can found. One is plus operator, another is equals to operator. Okay. So types of operator, various types of operator we can found: arithmetic operator, relational operator, assignment operator, logical operator, bitwise operator, membership operator, and identity operators. Okay, arithmetic operators plus. Okay, look at here. The arithmetic operator, addition plus a plus b equals to 30. So plus is the arithmetic operator, minus subtraction a minus b. Okay, and a b value will be 10 and 20. A will be holds on a, variable a holds on the value 10 and the variable b holds on the value 20. So plus a plus b equals to 30, a minus b equals to minus 10, multiplication a star b. This is the multiplication operator. Okay, and this is the division operator. Okay, b by a equals to 2, and modulo division operator, only remainder can store. So 20 divided by 10 equals to 0, remainder will be 0, so that's why it is 0. Okay, now exponential power calculation, a power b equals to 10 to the power of 20. Okay, so 10 to the power 20, it will be the actual scenario. Okay, double slash float division, the division operands where the result is the quotient in which the digit after the decimal point are removed. So 9 divided by float division 2 equals to 4. Okay, equals to 4. 9.0 float division 2 equals to 4.0. So only decimal part can be shown here. Clear? So these are the arithmetic operator, and the next one is comparison operator, which is called relational operator also. Equals to a equals to b is sure. If the result is true, then the value will be true. Okay, so comparison equals to value are same or not, check double equals to operator, not equals to operator. Okay, we can denote not equals to in that manner also. This is greater than and this is less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to. These are called relational operator. Okay, and the assignment operator, equals to is the assigned operator. Previously we told that the equals to operator is the assignment operator. Here we can assign the value from right hand side to left hand side, plus equals to, add and, subtract and, multiply and, divide and. Look at here, the example, c plus equals to a is equivalent to c equals to c plus a, c minus equals to a equivalent to c equals to c minus a, c star equals to a, c equals to c star a. Okay, and now modulo division and exponential and etc, float division and. Okay, these are the mainly important operator in Python. We can use in various programmings. These operator we can use in various programmings. So let's take an example. We do some programming in Python. So ready for that. Now we open Python. Okay, so let's start. Suppose the first program, Python program to do arithmetical operation. So previous day we'll do num equals to 5 and num1 equals to 5 and num2 equals to 10, in that manner. Okay, isn't it? Look at here, again we do it. num 1, look at here, num1 equals to 10 and num2 equals to 20 and num2 equals to not 25. Okay, so uh, this is command. This line is not executed here if you use hash command before this. Okay, so let's start that program. Num1 equals to 10, num2 equals to 5. These are variable num1 and num2. Okay, you can write anything from replace of num1 and num2. So first things, 10 will be assigned in num1, 5 will be assigned in num2. So num1, whenever we call num1, then it will display the 10, and whenever we call num2, then it will display 5. So sum num1 plus num2. Add two numbers, num1 plus num2, and summation will be min float num1 minus num2, multiplication num1 star num2, division num1 divide num2. So here will be the answer, sum, minimum, multiplication and division. So whenever we run this program, we show the output here. We can find the output here. Yes. Okay. So this number will be fixed. If we change this, suppose we want to input using keyboard, then we use input command. Input, enter the first number, input, enter the second number. Previous day I told you that whenever you change this answer, in that time you will face a problem. You just change from here, isn't it? Look at that example here with the first number, then you press 10, enter second number, so you press 5. Look at that. Again you can change it for here. Again you can run this program, new value will become. Okay, now let's take 20 and 10. Look at that result. So it is called, this previous one is called direct input, and this one is called what? Is called through keyboard input. In that way, if we entered a value through keyboard, then we use this portion. If we enter direct value, then we use this portion. Clear or not? I think it is clear. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Next day we'll do another program. Okay, welcome back student again. Next day we'll start with new program concept, that is Python program to find the area of a triangle. Okay, then we need A, B and C value, isn't it? So A, B and C value. If just give A, B and C value, and the formula area equals to A star S minus A star S minus B star S minus C double star 0.5. Okay, so let's start now. Run this program. Enter the first side. A equals to what? Suppose 12. B equals to 5. 3. C equals to 15. So what? The area of a triangle is 26.53. That's why we use programming concept. Now you can change the value again. Now again run this. Enter the first side. 10, 3, 5. Sorry, this will be some problem. Wait for a minute. 10. Second side will be 5, third side will be 15. So this will be the answer. Okay, you can calculate any triangle area to use this formula. Okay, to use this formula. So again we type it here, 15, 15, 15. So area of a triangle is 97.43. Okay, so in that way we can calculate area of a triangle. The next example will be quadratic equation. X square bx plus c. Okay, so how can we calculate? To calculate this one, we need to import CMAT. Function. Okay, so A equals to this, B, this, C. Enter the value, and calculate this one. B double star 2 4ac, b square minus 4ac. Okay, solution 1 we use 2a. Okay, now we just print this value. Okay, in that way you can calculate any of the mathematical expression easily. Okay, so just run this program, enter the value of A. What will be the A? 5. Enter the value of B, 6. Enter the value of C, 7. So the solution are these and these. Okay, clear? So in this way you can calculate a quadratic equation. Okay, so you just import CMath function. It is called import. Okay, CMath function. That's why we can calculate easily. The square root are in CMath function. This square root function is in CMath function, CMath class actually. So we whenever we import the square root function here, we just import CMath. Okay, CMath is a class actually. Okay, so square root is a function. So this is the way to calculate a quadratic equation. Then the last program for today, actually today's topic, today's end of this program. Okay, so show up two number actually. Okay, suppose x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Whenever it is print or whenever it is display, y equals to 10 and x equals to 20. Just reverse. Okay, show up, interchange between two numbers. Okay, this is the program. Again I repeat, x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Whenever it is print, y equals to 10, x equals to 20. Just exchange. Okay, so here the example, x and y, two input are there. Now we store x value, this x value store into another variable temp. Okay, now x is free. Now y value stored into x. Now y is free. Now temp value stored into y. So actually x value that stored into temp, this goes to y, and y value goes to x. Okay, so in that way we can just exchange the value whenever it is print. Look at that example, x equals to 10, y equals to 20. Look, x equals to 20, y equals to 10. Clear? This is the end of today's class. Next class we'll do another program and another concept, if condition and if else condition we'll do in next class. Okay, welcome back students again. Let's start with next programming, which is display calendar. Okay, display calendar. And now today we'll do if statement. If statement. Okay. So actually decision structure and Boolean logic. Decision structure and Boolean logic. Okay. This will be done today. Whenever we start this portion, we'll just do another program. How can we display calendar using program? Okay, suppose we don't have any calendar. Now you have a laptop and you use this laptop and Tony ID, you just display a calendar easily. Look at here, just run this program, enter the year. Suppose the year will be 2020. Okay, 2020. So you just enter 2020, and now the month will be suppose September. Okay, so August will be 8 and 9. Okay, so look at that here, the displaying calendar September 2020. This will be the answer. So in that way, how can we do this? Year and month we give an input, print, just call calendar, import calendar. Okay, calendar class, import just calendar class, calendar dot month, first YY and then MM, YY and MM. Okay, in that way we can just print a calendar using programming. Okay, using Python programming. Clear? I think all of you cleared this portion. And now next, decision structure and Boolean logic. If I told you to compare two things, two pens or two mobile, then you think that the first mobile price, compared in that way, the first mobile price is greater than second mobile. In that way you can compare anything, isn't it? So in computer we can also compare, some structure will be involved. Okay, look at that example, the if statement, if else statement, and nested decision structure, that is if else statement. Three statements are there to compare anything and displaying the result. Okay, but we must follow their syntax properly. Okay, so the control structure, sequence structure and decision structure. Three structures are there: control, sequence and decision. Okay, so suppose a simple decision structure, cold outside. I told you cold outside. If it is true, then wear a coat. If it is false, then just leave. So in that way you can decide anything, isn't it? So whenever we represent it into a structure, that is called if statement in programming language. In our programming language, this is called if statement. Okay, just like this picture or this figure. Okay, the next figure. Okay, Boolean expression we use already. We use some operator, that is relational operator, x greater than y, less than y, equals to y, equals to y, not equals to y. These are used for checking an expression. Okay, and the next example of decent structure, salary greater than 50,000. If it is true, then bonus 500, else bonus 10,000. So how can you decide? Look at the picture, look at the figure. This figure shows how can you decide this factor. Okay, so in programming we also do using if else condition. Look at that, temperature less than 40. If it is true, print a little cold, isn't it? If it is false, then print nice weather we are having. Okay, so if it is true, then we just print this one, and if it is false, then just print this one. Okay, clear? Okay, so next one is if else structure. Look at that, salary greater than equals to 30,000. True. Then Year on job greater than 2. It's true, then print your quality for the loan. You go to bank, then bank manager asks you, what's your salary? Then you told bank manager that my salary will be 30,000. So check, he checked that your job, yes, you are in a government employee, then your job service period will be greater than 2 years. So you give a loan, home loan. Okay. If it is false, salary not greater than equals to 30,000, then you must earn at least 30,000 per year or sorry per month. Okay. If greater than 30,000 but your service period less than 2 years, then the second condition will be false. Then you must have been wait for 1 year or 2 years for get the loan. Okay, clear? So the syntax will be if else. Look at the picture: if condition statement, elif condition statement, else statement. Okay, clear? So this is the grade calculated using if else statement. If else statement or nested if else statement or elif statement, you can say. Okay. So if your score greater than 90, then print your grade is A. If it is false, then score greater than 80%. True, print B. False, then check score greater than 70, greater than equals to 72, print C. False, score greater than 60%, greater than equals to 2, then print D. F, else, false, print F, else. Okay. So in that way, we can calculate this grade in our programming structure. So our next PowerPoint presentation, look at the screen where we can find the next PowerPoint presentation. Look at that. Conditional steps. Suppose x is equals to 5. X, we check. X less than 10. Yes, print smaller. No. X greater than 20. Yes, print bigger. False. Next, print finish. Look at that. 5. In that way, we can write in programming structure. In that way, x equals to 5 if x less than 10 colon print. Look at that. Print will be adjusted with x. Okay. If x greater than 20, print bigger. Print finish. Print will be in the same line of x. This print will be okay, same line of x. But this print under if. This print is under this if. Okay. So here the operator greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to. Okay, not equals to. Here we check x equals to 5 or not, x greater than 4 or not, x greater than equals to 5 or not, x less than 6 or not, x not equals to 6 or not. In that way, we can check using if statement. If statement look like this. Okay. So these are also same, different program, but same things. Okay. The next one. Next, look at that portion. If a different program. Okay. If nested if, this was done in nested if greater than equals to x equals to 1, print if under this if less than equals to 100, print less than 100. In that way, we can check it. Okay. X greater than yes, print more than, x greater than yes, print less than, all done. Okay. In that way, nested if we can calculate. Okay, elif else, look at here, if elif else command. Previous one just if else, if greater than x equals to 2, print bigger, else print smaller, print all. Done. This way, this is the way we can write if else statement. Previous one only if, this one if else statement. Okay, so we check in that way, x greater than 2, yes bigger, no, print smaller, all are done, then all are done, these all are done, print here. Okay, these are outside of if else statement. Only if else statement, inside the if else statement these print are available. Okay, so the next one is if elif statement. In that way we can write if elif statement. If x less than 2, print small. If x less than 10, print medium, else large. Okay, x greater than 10, print small, look at here, x less than 10, print medium or print large. All done, all done are outside of elif statement. Multiple statement, whenever we execute, then we use this elif statement. This is the right procedure to write down a elif statement, and previous one, this is the right procedure to write down a if statement. Okay, clear? That's all. Okay, various programming concepts are there, where there's the various programming. Okay, lots of programmings are there. Look at that, small, medium, big, large, huge. Okay, Jinesh. Okay, in that way we can execute multiple statement, or we can check multiple statement using if elif statement. Okay, that's all for today. Next day we'll continue this topic if, and new topic will be loop. Okay, student, welcome back again. Now today we'll do some programming using if else statement. Okay, so the first one, num int, take an input, if num modulo division 2, if the remainder is 0, then this will be what? Even number, and if it is not, then it will be odd number. Okay, if number, this portion modulo division 2, that means remainder will be 0. If the remainder will be 0, if the num equals to 4, then the remainder will be 0. If num equals to 5, then remainder not 0, then it will be odd number. Look at here, the number 10, so this is even number. Okay, and the number 11, this is odd number. Clear? So the next program, check leap year or not. You just enter a year, check it is leap year or not. Okay, and the last program of today will be prime number. Check a number whether it is a prime or not. Whether it is a prime or not. Just check whether a number is prime or not. Clear? Okay, so let's start. Look at, first we take an input year, int. Now if year modulo division 4, if the year modulo division 4 equals to 0, then it would be leap year. Then again we check, if the year modulo division 100, again we check, if the year modulo division 400, then it will be a leap year. Else, look at that, else is not a leap year, is a leap year, because this else will be the 100, this else will be the 400. Okay, and this else will be divisible by 4. So not leap year, leap year, not leap year, and leap year. Okay, now take an example. 2020 is a leap year. 1900 is not a leap year, but it's divisible by 4. But it's not a leap year. Okay? So in that way you can check it. Clear? This if, this else. This if, this else. This if, this else. Okay? If the divisible by 4, then it will be leap year. If this is not divisible by 4, not leap year. If this is divisible by 100, leap year, not leap year. Divisible by 400, leap year, not leap year. And it is not leap year, it is not leap year. Okay. The next one, prime number. The last one, prime number. So check a number is prime or not. Number is prime or not. The number which will be prime, divisible by itself or 1, isn't it? Okay. So take a number, num greater than 1. Here we use loop structure. Okay. Loop structure we use num modulo division I. What will I to num? Actually we use loop structure. Next day we will discuss what is loop, what we use, why we use loop structure. Okay. Just today just look at that picture. For I to num modulo division I, print, this is not a prime number, modulo division, float division is prime, not prime. Look at that. 20 is not a prime number. Okay. 5 is a prime number. Okay. So in that way you can calculate. Okay. Now next day we will start with factorial and this portion also. Okay. Welcome back again. Class 11 student, will start with loop. Why we use loop? In loop we'll do a repeated task. In loop we'll do a repeated task. Okay. So whenever we need, suppose in a moving fan we just paste things, then it will be moved until and unless we just stop the fan. Look at that picture. N equals to 5, n greater than 0, n start from 5, n greater than 0. Yes, print n equals to n minus 1, and again join here to check the number is greater than 0 or not. So first n5, look at here, n5, 5 greater than 0, then print n, 5 will be print. Now n minus 1, 5 minus 1, what will be the answer? 4. Greater than 0, yes, so print 4. Again 4 minus 1, 3, print 3. Again 3 minus 1, 2, print 2. Again 2 minus 1, print 1. That's enough. Print bloods off. That means 1 minus 1, 0. It is not satisfied. So no, go to the blast off. So this is the concept of loop. In each loop, we can found this scenario. Here we use while loop, and while loop syntax will be that format. Look at here, n equals to 5 while n greater than 0 colon print n equals to n minus 1. Okay. This print will not under while, because this is the direction will be left, same as it is while. So these are under while. So whenever we run this program, we show the output 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And also we seen blurs off and 0. 0 will be the last value. So that's why it's print 0. This is called while loop. We can found also for loop. Look at that, another example, infinite loop. The loop that never ends. Okay. So this is called infinite loop. There will be no decreasing value. Look at here, n equals to n minus 1 is not here. So it will be infinite loop. This also another loop, also an infinite loop. Break. To break from loop, we use break command. Look at here. We use just break command to break the line. To break the line. While true, true means 1. Line input, raw input, line done, break, print line, print done. Look at here. Hello there, finished. Finished, all complete, done, done. In that way, it will be executed. Now we enter into for loop. Look at the structure. It's also a loop. Look at the structure. For I in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 colon print I. So what will be the output? The first value, it enter into I 5, decrease automatically 4, decrease automatically 3, decrease automatically 2, decrease automatically 1. Here decreasing automatically. You just write the values, the loop automatically decrease. This is the difference between while and for loop. The loop executed in that format. Yes, print blast off. Move to print I. Again check, again check, again check in that format. Looking in. Okay, 5 elements are in. This is called iteration variable. This is called I is called iteration variable. Iteration variable. That means it stored these values. So in that way it can move. I equals to 5, print I. I equals to 4, print I. I equals to 3, print I equals to 2, print I equals to 1, print I. So that's all for today. That's all for today. Next class we'll discuss various programmings using for loop. Okay. Student, welcome back again. Now today we'll start with previous programming, which is prime number check. Look at here, the for loop I, this is iteration variable in range. Range start from 2 because it is prime number 1, prime non-prime, 1 is prime or non-prime. So start from 2 and it goes to number up to the number, and it automatically increase because start from 2. If we write here 10, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in that format. Okay. Now we'll do the multiplication table. Multiplication table. Okay. How can you do? Look at here. 1 to 10, up to 10. So the main purpose of loop is moving from 1 to 10. Loop must be moved from starting point will be 1 and ending point will be 10 up to 11, less than 11. This determines that start from 1 and less than 11. Okay, and it will automatically increase the value 1 by 1. 1 by 1. So let's run it. Now multiplication table of 75. Okay, look at that. 75 into 1 equals to 75. So first one is 75 into this portion 1, this portion, this is the loop iteration 1. So multiplication answer will be this: 75 into 1, 75, 75 into 2, 150, 75 into 3, 225, 75 into 4, 300, 75 into 5, 375, 75 into 6, 450. In that way, just calculate, and the this I will be moved from 1 to 10. Look at that, last value will be 10. So it can shows the loop will be start from 1 and the end value will be 10. Okay. Next, Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence. Fibonacci sequence, that means the first value will be 0, second value will be 1, and the third value 0 plus 1, 1. Next value 1 plus 1, 2. Next value 2 plus 1, 3. In that way. This is called Fibonacci number. Okay. So what we'll do? The n term will calculate the first number 0 and the second number 1. I told you. Count to, if n terms less than 0, please enter positive integer. If n terms equals to 1, then Fibonacci sequence, just print the 1. Okay. Next one is else part. Print n1, n2, end. While count n terms, nth equals to n1 plus n2. Okay, the first one and second one value. First one and second one value. Next, n1 equals to n2 and n2, just swap the value, and count equals to count plus 1. So just run this program. Suppose 10 will be the last term. So look at that: 0, 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 5, 13. In that way, it can increase. Just swap these numbers from here. Okay. The last one, Armstrong number. Armstrong number, the number, digit, cube, summation will be the same number. Number, digit, cube, summation. Suppose 153, 1 cube plus 5 cube plus 3 cube must be 153. Addition result will be 153. Then it will be called Armstrong number. So number, here is the number, sum equals to 0, temp equals to num value will be stored another variable in temp greater than 0, while temp greater than 0, digit equals to temp divided by 10, modulo division 10. That means it stored the remainder portion. Suppose 153, the first portion will be 3 will be stored in digit, next 5 will be stored in digit, next 1 will be stored in digit. Now we just cube the digit here, 5 cube, 1 cube and 3 cube. First of all 3 cube, then 5 cube, then 1 cube. Temp equals to float division. Okay, so first 153, 3 will be stored in digit, 3q stored in sum, and 153 divided by 10, that will be 15. It goes again here. This is loop, so goes again here. Then 15 divided by 10 will be 5, 5q plus 3q, and then here will be 1, 1q, last of all 1q. Look at here, 153, this is an Armstrong number. And if we write here 144, then it is not an Armstrong number. Clear? So that's the end of your session. Listen carefully, class 11 student. That is not enough programming. That is not enough programming. You can practice any programming, any sequence of instruction, any programming in your home. Just follow these structures only. Just if else structure, for loop structure. Using this structure, you can do anything. Okay, you can do some mathematical expression. You can do some problem in your life which is related with your life. Okay, you can solve using these two structure, if and for loop. One is iteration, another is what? Control structure. Okay, sure, that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.